He flew through the air, crashed into a metal cabinet, landed safely, nearly died, but for him, it was just the start. Luckily, they all survived, but instead of fleeing, they decided to check into a hotel nearby, which the agent saw coming like he knew his dinner would be bland. The agent promptly orders searches of all nearby hotels, a classic move from his playbook. If you get nabbed, it'll be under the bed waiting for you, don't worry, I won't even move a muscle. Jung Sung locked the hotel door, used a book to block the handle, stuffed a towel in the gap, and drew curtains playing You Can't Find Me. Finally catching the breath, they asked, "You okay? Your treatment so painful, as if in a drama of shared suffering." After so long without such close contact, their heart rates began to race, and eventually, the wife blushed and looked away. Talk about bad timing for flirting. Jung Sung inserted the USB into the computer, cracked the password with his superior's code, unveiling his inner turmoil like a long-hidden snack stash. Turns out the agent's father was Jung Sung's superior, secretly selling arms under government cover, a shady prelude. Times Earl, he stored all the profits in a Berlin account, safeguarding public funds as if a high-ranking national treasury official. The agent showed up to take over their accounts, a real-life grey-area financial takeover that left everyone dumbfounded. A savvy waiter sold out for intel, but it was all orchestrated by a Korean agent, with a recording pen hidden beneath the table like an invisible spy. After extracting the confession, the agent off the waiter, pinning the blame on Jung Sung's wife, a perfect crime storyline of out of sight, out of mind. However, their distance still loomed large, and the pursuers outside arrived aside from the full-time hunters. There were also Arab militants from the arms deal. Like a dynamic group, the boss was caught by Israel in the last deal. The agent blamed Jung Sung entirely, a real blame shifter. Promised a special discount in future arms deals if they oust Jung Sung, a great deal. Facing such overwhelming firepower, Jung Sung bravely shielded his wife with his body, like a superhero only without the superpowers. Seeing his wife protecting her belly, Jung Sung firmly told her that no matter what happened, they all had to survive, because what's a celebration without the whole crew? Just when they were about to take the elevator down, the Korean agent appeared again, and the militants had already beaten them to it, making it a fancy chase scene. As he tried to slip away, Jung Sung counterattacked, the hero facing all. A fierce shootout erupted again, and Jung Sung finally sniped a trusty weapon, but his wife was whisked away into the elevator, and she dashed down the stairs like it was 100 and sprint. Her militants jumped out along the way. She easily dealt with them, but it wasted time, and she was too late when rushing downstairs. His wife had already been taken, and Jung Sung shot and chased, smashing a window and hitting a tire, but the car just kept rolling on like it had never been. In the end, he could only chase after them, but was tossed around in a sharp turn, while the driver playfully pointed the gun out the window. True plot twist in real life. His wife in the back struggled to interfere just enough to avoid the bullets, but the enraged driver jerked the wheel violently, leaving Jung Sung feeling like he was in a car chase game. Ultimately losing his balance, Jung Sung fell to the ground and could only watch helplessly as the car drove away. It was a real watching everything slip away moment. In that moment, he felt perhaps the most helpless he'd ever been, once hailed as a national hero, yet unable to protect his own family, like a forgotten toy. Even more despair struck as the Korean agent, Old Park, caught up, but instead of targeting his quarry, he turned his aim at Jung Sung, like a villain straight out of a fashion film. But Jung Sung was taken aback when the agent didn't rush to take him away. Instead, he had him listen to a recording, creating a scene like a real-life evidence-gathering drama. Why does everything have to be so complicated? The recording made Jung Sung realize that the last arms deal failed because the agent leaked intel to the Israeli operative. He felt like he had fallen into an info whirlpool. Old Park learned the truth while interrogating the Israeli agent, and that recording became Jung Sung's lifeline to prove his innocence. Life's show is full of twists. So Old Park agreed to let him call his wife. Even though the agent was once his pot G, there was no room for sympathy here. He was playing the role of the cold-hearted dad. He warned Jung Sung that if he didn't arrive on schedule, wait for him would be his sister-in-law's corpse, a rather grim time-sensitive reminder. Listening to the gunfire and his wife's screams on the phone, Jung Sung completely abandoned his former beliefs and decided to team up with Old Park to rescue his wife, a true masterpiece in the making. He declared that he would hand over the secret account information and even consider siding with Korea. Talk about a willing spy. Old Park was puzzled by his shift, but remained earnest, deciding they would only act at night, while he provided covert support outside. A real team effort. Jung Sung went alone to save his wife. While searched, Old Park used an earpiece to pass intel on armed forces and his wife's location, like secret messages. Before entering, Jung Sung was stunned unconscious by a baton, losing comms. A true lost signal mishap. Seeing his wife safe brought Jung Sung relief, but then a militant knocked him down with one punch. A not so welcoming welcome committee. They were eager to take him out for their boss revenge, but the agent stopped them, insisting he needed a confession first. Double standards at their finest. Jong Sung offered to confess to treason if they let him live. The agent was overjoyed, surprised that this man, who valued honor above all, had capitulated. Jong Sung handed over his confession recording, and the agent never expected that after just a couple of sentences, the recording played back his conversation with the Israelis. Things were getting more and more interesting. The agent intended to cut it off but was met with a gun to his head by the militants. The tension in the room suddenly cranked up. It was a classic "you don't shoot, I don't move" stalemate. You people will have Lee Annecy, just like you wanted. Fansel, we can kill them all. The unaware militants just learned the truth. The agent was shocked by Jong Sung's tactics, who calmly watched like a seasoned chess player. You once said you would make decisive errors from both sides' opinions, and those words put the agent on high alert. He used the moves Jong Sung had taught him to dodge the militants' gunfire deftly, and then a fierce gunfight erupted, with Jong Sung flipping tables to shield them like an armored. Old Park fired a flashbang, blinding everyone briefly, allowing Jong Sung to cut the bonds on his wife's wrists, plunging the three sides into a stalemate of chaos. He picked up a gun from the ground and countered, firing urgently at the gas canister in the room, creating an explosion that sent them flying. They fell heavily to the ground. Jong Sung, supporting his wife, fought and retreated, but was shot in the stomach as the situation worsened. Old Park quickly provided cover fire, while the furious agent fired wildly, blowing up the car, blocking their path, turning it into real-life fire-breathing